Okay, we are live.
Amazing. Okay, so whilst I start sending the links everywhere, welcome, jury and final two, to Triumph Sahara Scorched final tribal council. I will get on camera as well, just because. Hello, I'm finally here. So, after 18 amazing players graced Triumph with their presence. You guys fought hard. You guys endured many difficult challenges, so many crazy tribals, and a lot of epic blindsides, powers. I never mind. But in the end, we came to our final two, which was Jester and Stoner. And you guys now have a chance to plead your case to our jury of 9 as to why you deserve the title of Sole Survivor. So here is how things are going to work. You guys will first start off with your opening statements. Each of you have 5 minutes for your opening statements. Once you guys have had your statements, it is then to the jury. They will in turn have 10 minutes to ask you as many questions, make statements, that you don't have to use all of the 10 minutes, but each jury is provided 10 minutes with questions. After that, you guys will have your closing statements. Those are 5 minutes again each. Once you have made both of your closing statements, we will give the jury just a couple minutes to have a think about, and then we will get to the vote in. So, if we are ready, I believe it was Stoner that wanted to go first for opening statements. So, yes. Stoner, are you ready?
I am ready, Ali.
All right, then. Meg, are you ready with the timer?
Yes, I am.
Okay, then, Stoner, you have 5 minutes for your opening statement.
All right. Hi, guys. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. It's been a long game. I know there's some hurt feelings. I know the last thing you want to hear is me rambling on about why I should win. I lied and I backstabbed a lot. The least I can do tonight is give you guys 100% honesty and give you answers that you deserve. I had the honor of getting to play with every single person in this game besides Marvin, and it was a blessing. You guys are amazing players, even better people, but you guys stressed me the hell out. Every single round, I was going crazy. Attending every tribal council from start to finish, I had to play hard from the beginning, and I had to make tough decisions. And the decisions only got tougher as we swapped and eventually merged. As we saw, literally every single merged tribal council was threat after threat after threat being voted out of this game. So I tried to develop strong one-on-one relationships with everybody. And I think I proved that when I won the Final Four immunity. That wasn't just me guessing what the lie was. That was me looking back at our conversations, remembering what you guys had told me. And a lot of the truths were things that I've heard in conversations. Despite going to tribal council 15 times, I only received 2 votes at the final 5 from Sam and Brian. And that was the only time I got votes in this game. I was willing to take big risks. And my very first big risk was the final 14, when I was willing to go to rocks to take Jackson out. We were actually 7 minutes away from drawing a rock. Me and Kendall were both dead set. Let's draw a rock. It's game time. And then Megan's like, you got 7 minutes. Talk it out. I'm like, all right, let's talk it out. But I was willing to make these big risks for the long-term payout of the game. Live night, I got Brian, Jester, and Nick to switch their votes to Derek mid-tribal council, literally 2 minutes before tribal council. Not before tribal council, but 2 minutes before the votes were read. I got them to change their votes. Nick actually gave me an extra vote advantage to use against Jester that night. And I couldn't do that because Derek was my biggest threat. Derek had to go home that night. So I told Nick, I was like, look, I'm sorry. I'm using this against Derek. I would love for you to come with me. And ultimately, the 3 of them came with me. We voted out Derek together. I think after that, at Final 5 is when I played a fake idol on Kelly. I knew CJ never gave me an idol. That was strictly to convince Kelly I'm with you next round. You know, I'm playing this on you because I trust you. Can you trust me next round? I won immunity at Final 4, so I didn't get to see if that ploy would have worked out. But I like to think it would have helped me. I voted everybody out in this game except for Aston, Marvin, CJ, and Nick. I won 3 immunities at 6, 4, and 3. The final immunity was after 3.5 hours of me and Jester standing up there like this. My arms still hurt. My arms are still hurting so bad. I don't have many regrets. My biggest regret in the game was honestly making a deal with Brian at Final Four, saying I'll take you to 3. And the next morning, I told Brian I can't do that. And I thought I was doing the right thing, giving Brian 8 hours to scramble. And I realized the right thing would have been to not make that deal at all. I don't think I'm the best player this season, not in the slightest. I think there's many people I could name that played better than me. But out of the final 2, I do think it's clear who played the strongest game and who had the hardest journey to get here. I hope that you guys can see that it wasn't me. And I hope tonight that I can answer your questions with all honesty. At the end of the day, we're a bunch of Survivor nerds that love this game with our fullest heart. And we play this game to get the glimpse of the show that we love, that we know we might never get a chance to go on the island to play. And I understand if you don't want to vote me to win. I just hope you understand everything I did was simply gameplay and nothing personal. I adore all of you inside this game. But in this game, you stood in my way of getting here. And I had no choice but to vote you out. Someone turn the light off. My speech is done. I'm going to turn this light back on and then I'll be back. But I'm excited to answer your questions. Thank you, production, for this amazing game. Thank you, viewers, for watching. Thank you, jury, for playing, pre-jury for playing and being a part of the journey. Jester, you look amazing tonight. I wish you nothing but the best of luck. And that's it. Thank you, guys, for listening. I'm going to turn the light on.
Okay, thank you, Stoner. Right, next up, we have Jester. Jester, your 5 minutes start now.
Hello, guys. First, I would love to thank the production, Maggie, Chris, Rory, Oli, Courtney. Bear with me, I'm bad at public speaking, so I'm pretty much like dying right now. But first, jury, I will memorize my game from beginning to the end. I came to this game with no plans. I don't want to pregame because it does get me targeted early and I'm thinking too much, From the start, I have a close relationship with Stoner and Brian, and even a Jackson that fed me information in the early part of the game. But by having close relationship with 3 of them, I expanded myself to people love me. So I expanded myself to getting to know Stevie, Ali, and Seb. And Ali and Seb, unfortunately, due to the circumstance that they had to leave because there's not part of the majority alliance. On the swap tribe, I call this a luck in the game because it's either I go home 4-1 or I go stay and move forward in this game. But of course, we keep winning and winning the challenges. And once we're winning, I'm making close relationship with Derek and Sam that I have seen a duo from the game perspective. And I always then try to make them feel good no matter what, because we're going to the merge. And I know that if I keep them, I would praise them enough to my OG media that they are good to work with. Well, the merge comes, and the game has started. This is where my social comes to rise. I'm just trying to be likable with everyone and talk with them and I haven't gone to talk. I really love my conversations with Josh, Kennedy, CJ, and Nick. This were game. I listen and observe of any possible options that I can have to put myself where I stand in this game and work the people I would really love to work in this game. So I gather my troops. I make the Rainbow Warriors, me, Derek, Sam, Brian. And in a part of that Rainbow Warriors, there's an outside duo of the alliance, like Brian with Stevie, me with Stoner, Sam and Derek, and Derek with Kennedy, and Sam with Kelly. And on the first part of the merge, I was part of my name was throwing around by Josh. And part of me going to the merge is like, okay, I have to win this because my name was thrown around in the first part of the merge. So I did win. He couldn't target me. the chaos starts to rise. And I use that to my advantage, that immunity, to build connection as much as I can to move forward in the game. Later down the line, the Rainbow Warrior starts to fall out with the Derek belt. I was protecting Derek from the moment Nick threw their name to me. I'm protecting Derek as much as I can. I gave him information as much as I can to save himself. But as what Stoner said 2 minutes before the vote, I see myself, Derek is gonna vote for me, and I'm not having that. So I have to make him leave. And after that, even though I know who voted for me that time, I see Kelly and Sam voting for me that time. It didn't bother me at all. The moment they step up out on that challenge, I go step out and talk to them and make sure that I'm not the one going home. And Kelly and Sam voted for Kennedy that night. I make sure that they're gonna vote the one I wanted, and I got Kennedy out at that time. On the final 6, Nick is the only part of the person that I don't want to bring them on the final 6. So I was pushing hard for Nick to go because Nick is such a good player. Nick doesn't stop to fight. It's like, wow, Nick. I'm scared to Nick at all. Like,
30 seconds remaining, Jester.
I don't want that person to like go. On the final 5 and the final 4, I see myself where I stood. Everyone wants me to their final 3 and final 2. So I use that advantage and take out Sam so I can bring Stoner to the end, because Stoner is gonna be with me all day long. And on the final 4, I'm sitting pretty because Kelly, Brian, and Stoner wants me to the end. And even the final 3, even though I tried to do the best thing I could do to win.
Jester, that is time. That is 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jester.
Thank you, Jester, and thank you, Stoner. Right. With that, the opening statements have been done. Don't know how else to say it. We are now going to move on to the jury questioning. So just a reminder to each juror, you guys will have 10 minutes up to ask the final 2 any questions, to make any statements. Obviously, you do not have to use all of the 10 minutes, but you only have a maximum of 10 minutes. And we are going to start with the mayor of Ponderosa, the king of Ponderosa himself, Josh. So, Meg, have you got the timer ready?
Yes, and just for the jurors, I will give you a 2-minute warning when you have 2 minutes left as well, if you go that long. And yes, I'm ready.
Okay,
Just real quick, Ollie, I'd like for you to refer to me as Joshy 3 Idols from now on. Okay.
So,
am I good to start?
Joshy 3 Idols, you are good to start.
All right. Hey, so first off, Chris Stoner, my friend, I just have one quick question for you. What fucking drugs were you giving everyone to convince them that you were not the biggest threat in this game? Like, genuinely, you played one of the greatest social games I've seen to come into this as clearly the biggest threat and get everyone else to turn on each other and ignore you. So what drugs were you giving everyone? Because I might need to try them.
Oh man, Josh, I really do appreciate the compliment. Honestly, I didn't see myself as the biggest threat. I think there were a lot of big players. I feel like Derek and Sam took a lot of heat off my back. I feel like you and Stevie took a lot of heat off my back. You guys are the big guns right at the merch. Everyone's like, we need Josh out, we need Stevie out. And I was able to just slide down the radar a little bit. And honestly,
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna say I appreciate the political answer, but I want you to own this shit. I want you to come in here and talk about how fucking badass you are. Okay.
I mean,
you're gonna have plenty of chances to do that. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Say what you want to say, and then I got to move on.
No, of course. Honestly, I use other people's threat levels to hide. When people were bigger threats, I use that. Someone said get Josh out, so let's get fucking Josh out. And then when CJ went home, that lit a fucking fire under my ass. I was like, oh hell no! Everyone just made me look so stupid. They all just played me like a freaking fiddle. And I stepped up and I went balls to the wall to get Derek out. And I had to do damage control the next round. Everyone called me after CJ was like, are you okay? I'm like, we're straight. And then after Derek went home, I did the same thing. I called Sam. I called Kelly. I called everybody. I'm like, let's talk it out. Sam, I don't want you out. Derek had to go. And honestly, it wasn't drugs. It was simply telling people. It was simply using people's threat levels to get myself further. I knew if I could just keep sliding by one more round,
Mhm.
I could get people to turn on each other. And
Whatever you did was incredible to watch. You sent multiple people to the jury praising the ever living fuck out of you, and I got to every time someone came in, that was what I got to hear.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I'm very impressed with the game that you've played. And as I've said, fucking brag about that shit when you're answering these questions. Okay.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you.
Jester, I don't have any questions for you. In fact, I'm not even going to talk to you. What I'm going to say is to the jury. It's to production. It's to you, Chris Stoner, because you're not privy to this information, and it's to all the viewers. So the day I was voted out, that day, Jester and I had a conversation, and based on the contents of that conversation, after the fact, Megan from production reached out to me individually, and she was like, "Hey, like, are you okay? Like, did that conversation cross any lines?" And without going, really into the details, it basically boiled down to me being sexualized to my face. And at the time, I didn't realize that it was wrong. In my mind, I justified it. I was like, oh, like, he's a flirty person. He's just trying to, get on my good side because he's trying to, like, get me to want to work with him and whatever. And once I was removed from the game and I had the time to think about it, I realized that, like, game or not, it wasn't okay. And am I traumatized by it? No, but I think it's important for me to talk about it because it's something that we can't have. And I'm enough of a presence in orgs that I think that for people that may have had an experience like this, seeing other people talk about it, I think may help them feel comfortable talking about it with other people. And the other thought I had is, like, because it's a dude saying it to a dude, I feel like people don't take it as seriously, right? But when I talk to some of the people that I'm friends with in this game, and I said, hey, like, what if it was me saying it to Kelly, as an example, right? If it was a dude saying it to a woman, what would people's response be, right? I think people would be outraged by that. And talking about people's body in a sexual manner and asking them to and basically saying, like, oh, like, I want you to show off on camera while we're on call, like, that sort of stuff, like, it's not okay. And I think it's honestly disgusting to, like, have to, like, say those sorts of things in a conversation with someone in or out of an org, but especially in an org. You consider there are minors that play this game, and imagine someone saying that to a 16-year-old kid. And so I just feel like part of my responsibility is to make sure everyone who was involved with this game and that watched this game is aware of my experience, that I had in conversation with Jester. And this doesn't mean Jester is a terrible human being that is needs to be shot out of a cannon into the sun. But it is behavior that I don't think is acceptable, and I wanted to make that publicly known to people. Sorry, I have a lot of notes on this. I gotta make sure I keep my thoughts somewhat in order because I am very all over the place with this. But yeah, and to the jury, like, please, like, don't make the rest of this final tribal about this. I wanted to make sure that I said it, but I also wanted to go first so that I could say, to you guys on the jury, like, I've said my piece. It doesn't need to be brought up again and again. Like, let this still celebrate the game that Chris played and the fact that both of these guys, despite my personal, issues, it is still commendable for both Chris and Jester to have made it to the end of this game. And, please, like, let us still celebrate what they did accomplish. But that's basically all I have to say. I think at this point, I think you guys know where my vote's going. Both of you, again, congratulations on making it to the end. You did what all of us could not do. And Chris, again, buddy, it's fucking incredible game, my dude. It fantastically done. And that's all I've got. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh. And can I just quickly say, very respectable. Right, next up, we have our lovable Brit, Sam. So, Sam, you have 10 minutes. Take it away.
Hi, sorry, I forgot to speak. First of all, congratulations to both of you. To start with, I've just got a statement about what I believe your game was, and then I'll give you a chance to respond to that, and then we'll move on from there. So first of all, can I start with Stoner? Stoner, first of all, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling much better, Sam. No fever, just a cough.
Good. I was really worried about you. So I'm glad everything was okay.
Thank you.
Good. And well done on a tremendous game.
Thank
You played exceptionally well. You, in my opinion, you were so socially aware of what was going on. You moved to where you needed to move at the correct time. I feel you were loyal when you needed to be loyal, and then when you had no use for us anymore, that's when we got the job. I just feel you played a really, really, really good game, and the fact you went to every tribal as well is astounding. And you just played really, really, really well. I've got nothing else to say. I just think I'm really, really proud of you. So well done for that. Again, really, really impressed and proud that you made it to the end, because it's not an easy feat at all. You played very, very, very well. You played very much in my opinion, you played very much the role of the follower. You played most of the time you were doing what other people said that the move should be. I don't remember, because I worked very closely with you. I don't remember you really saying or coming up with any plays yourself, really. It was more, we'd come to the plays to you, and you would be like, yeah, I'll do that, or no, I won't do that. And most of the time it was just following along. So I do have a question for you, actually. What, aside from the Rainbow Warriors and aside from Stoner, what moves did you make or did you orchestrate yourself?
The moves that I make is to target you, Sam. Stoner wants Kelly that night. Stoner wants gunning her for Kelly that night. And I said to Stoner, this is not gonna happen. I don't want Kelly to go, because I go bananas once my allies' names got brought up. When Brian's names got up, Kelly's names brought up, Derek's name go, I go bananas and go to people. I'm not voting for these people. I'm not voting for this round. The moment on the final 5 says my real game was to vote you out, because I know that you're the biggest threat on that game, on this game. And I talked to Stoner, talked through with it. And when he was almost like budging it to vote for you, I talked to Kelly. And I'm so scared that Kelly could not just go. But Kelly's goes to my plan, because that separates her gameplay to your gameplay. And that's could be a potential threat that Kelly could do in the game. And that moment, I got my troops, I got you out. And on the final 4, I'm sitting pretty ducks in the final 2, because everyone wants me to be in the final 2.
I was very, very impressed that you managed to manipulate Kelly and get her to believe that I was coming after her. I thought that was good. That was you and Stone, and that was a good move on your part. So that was good. I think that's pretty much it. My one thing which is preventing me at the moment from voting for you, Jester, I'm still up in the air, but is if it wasn't for Derek and I, you wouldn't have made it off Saida, because you were swap screwed. If we hadn't decided to vote Marvin out instead of you, you wouldn't have made it to merge. So it's difficult for me to really see you as a deserving winner when we could have taken you out very, very, very easily. So I just need you to really just tonight, just own every move you made, own your game. Okay. Yes. But I'm incredibly proud of both of you. Just a quick game before we do. I know this is a jury favorite. Can I ask you to both close your eyes? I'm gonna go through each of the jury members in a random order, and I would like you to put your hand up if you think you've got their vote. Okay. So we'll start with Josh. Okay. Then Derek. Then Nick. Me. Brian? Kennedy? Stevie? Kelly? And CJ? Interesting. Okay. And Jester, I do have one more question for you, just purely because I'm really intrigued. If you'd have won final immunity, who would you have taken?
Callie.
Okay. Respectable. Okay, interesting. And that's everything for me. Again, just own your games. Both of you played really, really well. So proud of both of you. So just do it. You've done amazing.
Thank you, Sam.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Okay, next up, you are going to have the lovely and adorable Brian. So, Brian, you have 10 minutes. Take it away.
Okay, I'm going to start with this because coming off the heels of what Sam did, I just want to let you know I came into the jury talking very positively about the two of you, like all three of you, by the way. Like, I know Stoner thinks, oh my God, like I may have done Brian like dirty. Like none of that came into the jury. When I got there, I was an advocate for all three of you. I mean, a lot for Kelly because I was really hoping Kelly would make it to the end because I felt like she was underestimated, but that's besides the point. I'm gonna ramble because I've had 2 cups of bourbon now and a little bit of martini. Like alcohol poisoning is gonna happen soon because you bitches can't stop with the trigger words. I'm so sorry. I ramble when I'm drunk. I really can't stop. I'm just gonna, oh my God. I lost my question. Okay, so I have the same question for the two of you. I write plot points for a living. Like that's what I do. I write stories and I'm very, very careful when I'm writing stories. Like I'm a very precise person. So I want the same thing from the two of you. A lot of things in these games, they happen or we make them happen or they happen to us, right? I want to know those 3 things. What was the most important thing that happened to you in this game? What was the most important thing that you made happen in this game that really got you here? Just those 2 things, and I'll be happy. Remember, there are jurors who are watching, and everyone wants to hear their storyline involved in this question. I'm like, I'm not the most important thing that happened to this bitch. They'd get offended, but I want the truth. Like I want to know what was the real thing that happened to you that really defined you getting here and what you made happen that really got you to be here. Anyway, I'm gonna continue drinking. Y'all bitches enjoy.
Jess, do you want to go first or me?
We can go start.
Okay.
You can go start. Yeah.
So I think the best thing that happened to me, honestly, was CJ swapping to my tribe. As soon as CJ swapped, me and Sam had a call at the Oasis. Actually, I think Brian, you were there too. But me and Sam were the ones that really had the first initial call. Now, right from the jump, I said I'm working with CJ because there's 2 things that's going to happen in this game. I'm either going to vote CJ out, I'm going to vote Amanda out, and I'm going to merge with the entire Tapisa tribe, thinking I'm against them. Or I'm going to flip on Jackson and Kendall, work with CJ, and I'm going to come into the merge showing people that I'm open and I'm ready to play with you guys. Tribal Alliance is dead to me. And I do think me saving CJ those few votes set myself up for the game where I came to the merge with Sam, Derek, with people wanting to work with me because of that. And the best thing that I did in this game was live night taking Derek out. Derek was literally not going anywhere. Derek, Nick, and Kennedy, I don't know what the hell was going on. And Sam, honestly, all of you guys did some crazy thing where you guys are all going to vote Jester out. And that wasn't cool with me because Jester was never writing my name down until final 3. So I was like, Derek has to go. And that's what I messaged you and Jester 2 minutes before the votes read. I'm like, guys, we have to make this play happen right now. And you guys were like, okay, fine, let's do it last minute. And then I'm like, I need to get Nick. Nick's messaging me saying, will you give me my extra vote back? I'm like, I can't. Ali said I can't. He's like, all right, we'll use it on Jester. I'm like, Nick, I'm sorry. I first told Nick, yeah. I said, hell yeah, I'll use it on Jester. It's your extra vote, man. And then we get to the vote, and I'm like, I can't, Nick. I got to use it on Derek. I'm sorry. You can either come with me or you can't. But we got the votes, and I just need you with me. And Nick, Nick was not buying it. And finally, Nick's like, okay, fine, let's do it. And I love Nick. Nick was so open, ready to play the game with us. And Nick makes the big jump. you make the big jump, Jester makes the big jump, Derek goes home. And I truly think if Derek didn't go home that night, Derek probably would have been in the end of the game. You know, Derek had a way of people, and Derek was such a big threat, but people still wanted to work with him. Somehow he got Nick and Kennedy to team up with Derek after Derek was against them. And yeah, CJ was the best thing that happened to me, and Derek was the best thing I did.
Okay, I'm gonna start with the best thing that happened to me. The best thing that happened to me is getting to know Brian. Not gonna lie, because having an immigration here and being a Filipino is just bless my heart. Oh my God, I have Brian in this game. I have this default connection with you. We have that personal talk every day, and I always treasure that no matter what happened. And the moves that I did try to do, or the moves that came to me where I talked to Kelly after Stevie's vote. Me and Kelly have this like an hour talk, and we're just talking strategy by strategy and strategy. Kelly is playing under the radar, and she fed me information that helps me throughout this game. Stoner didn't trust Kelly that much, but I did trust Kelly that much at a certain point that I would not vote for Kelly that much. Going move forward, as what I said, I think my best move is getting the Kennedy out. Kennedy out on the final live night second round. I know they're targeting me, so might as well go with the people and talk to people and target Kennedy out. The moment Kelly and Sam lost the challenge, I took out the challenge. Boom, I called Kelly right away. Hey Kelly, if you owe me something, let's vote for Kennedy this time, and I will treasure you, and then I will bring you to the end, which is I did bring her to the end and the final three with me. With Sam also, but just Sam, of course, he's the biggest threat, so I have to take him out as much as I can. But getting Kennedy out, it's a tone for my placement in this game, because having Kennedy here in this game, I'm not going to the end because Kennedy just gonna target me until I get out in this game. So that's pretty much my biggest move.
Okay, good luck to the two of you. You played phenomenal games. Don't worry. Like I said, anything that happened in the game happened in the game. So good luck.
Thank you, Brian.
Brian.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Right, next up, we are going to have the first of our two ladies, our iconic females this season, and we are going to start with Kennedy. Kennedy, you have got 10 minutes. Take it away.
I have 10 minutes.
Up to 10 minutes. You don't have to use all the 10 minutes.
Ooh, that's kind of cute. Why did I think it was 5? Okay. Hey.
Please don't. But
You gave me 10. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to start with Stoner. Hi, Stoner. So, although this may come as a surprise to you based on how you started your opening sentence, most of the jury thinks you actually played a clean game. The jury talked about how your game, although it had some points here and there, it wasn't as messy as you probably think it is, except for a few of the jurors. I want to see if you can pinpoint which jurors you think you played a messy game.
That's such a really good question. It's funny. That's a fun question. I definitely think with your vote, it was a messy vote. I just made a big play against Derek, and I flipped immediately after to take you out. And honestly, that was just because the thing was, me and Nick, we talked a lot, and I'm like, "Is Kennedy with us?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah." And then I messaged you, and I'm like, "Hey," you're like, "Hey." I'm like, "Are you with us?" You're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Did Nick talk to you?" You're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, I need more than just yeah." It was really, it scared the hell out of me. I was like, "There's no way Kennedy's with me," and I told Nick that too. I think that was a messy play by me. I think I do think me making the deal with Brian was messy. I think the best thing I could have done was not make the deal at the end of the day. And like I said before, I thought me giving Brian 8 hours to scramble, make a tie was the right thing. And it wasn't. I should have never made that deal in the first place. But I had to cover my ass. If Brian wins immunity, I need a backup plan. I need to make sure I'm not getting these votes. That's why I played the fake idol on Kelly the round before, to make sure she's not going to vote me next round. CJ never gave me an idol, but no one else knew that. I think, honestly, I feel like those might be the big messy votes. Derek maybe, but I don't think so. I think that I do think the Derek vote was a great move. And I felt bad. The thing is, me and Derek had amazing one-on-one calls. I've cried to Derek, but Derek wasn't working with me in this game. Derek wanted my ass out coming up. So yeah, I think your tribal is the messiest, and Brian's is messy tribal.
Okay, so which jurors, in your opinion, have said Stoner played a messy game? Not you disappearing.
I would say I guess I probably still probably just you. I don't think Brian thinks
Just me?
messy.
Okay.
I think just you, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. With this being said, and you explaining it, from your opinion, do you think you played a clean or messy game?
I honestly I do think I lied a lot more than you guys think I lied. I don't think I played this great hero game. I do think I tried to keep it to a minimum. I tried to only I was fully down, for the Cutthroat boys, me, Josh, Derek, and Sam. I was really hoping the four of us would link up, but it didn't work. And then I had to backstab Josh. Well, I guess not backstab because we weren't fully together, but I had to lie to Josh. And I don't know. I guess my game is cleaner than I think it was, but I think it was messier than you guys think it was. I don't know. It's a little, it's kind of weird. But I think I played a balance of a messy game and a clean game. But I do think I was messier than you guys give me credit for being messier. Sorry, that was not English.
Oh, you're good. Jester, I have some questions for you. So also your outfit is so cute. I was gonna try to wear something nice and I'm wearing this hoodie. And so I just wanted to compliment you on actually being put together because I couldn't do that. Okay. So you said early on that your game was very social and you had this very social game. Do you think that your social game is the strongest out of like the pillars, social, strategic, and physical?
Yes, I would say that.
Which do you think is the weakest?
Challenge, because well, I mean, I did win the first two, but I'm not that good at challenge. It sucks.
So you say that your strategic game is sort of in the middle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you kind of tell me why you ranked? Because social you've touched on, but strategic and physical, I feel like you haven't touched as much. Physical, I mean, we can kind of understand because you just said challenges. But kind of on strategic, do you think you could touch on strategic a little bit and maybe things you would have done differently or things that you did that put it in that middle spot?
I think a lot of people didn't know that I am the one that throwing names out there. I'm throwing names left and right. I'm trying to like, okay, what is the options? What is the best option for the votes? And of course, like when we're trying to like do this like split votes, I ask every single person, who are you comfortable voting with? Because I don't want them to force them to vote for someone that they're not comfortable with. So even on the Derek's vote, we're targeting Nick that time, and I was like, Nick, Kennedy can split the vote, and I asked Derek, are you comfortable voting for Kennedy? And he said no. Then I said, okay, I'm gonna find a way to do the split vote. Maybe Kelly or Stoner would vote for Kennedy, but in terms of that, it didn't happen because of the game perspective. But I always trying to make the options bigger so people can just maybe put that as an option and maybe work with me as moving forward in this game.
Okay. So people gave you names of people they weren't comfortable voting, and you saying, I want to do this, and other people said, I'm not comfortable doing that. Did you have a way to keep track of that?
Yes, I did. So
like, did you have like a note or or did you kind of keep it in your head who's not comfortable voting who?
Yes, I did have a note. Like, okay, Derek is not comfortable voting for you. Sam definitely not comfortable voting with you that round just specifically.
Okay. Interesting. And then I just want to touch on this because it's one thing that I specifically said to you. I remember, and I'm hoping you remember this, but if you don't, I'm not upset. I said, Jester, this is your chance to make a big move and to really define your strategic game. If you don't remember the moment, that's okay. Do you kind of know when I'm talking about?
I remember that, the moment you left
perfect.
out. Yes.
Do you think at this point, sitting where you are, you should have made that move, or do you think it would have made a difference?
I think how I play the games, I should have made it, and I did made it because I know where I stand on these people. I know where they trust that they put me in, and I use that to my advantage to where I proceeded myself to be here at sitting in the final two.
All right. I'm not done yet. Hang on. How much time do I have?
Fuck off.
I love you, Kennedy.
I love you too. I love both of you.
Sorry, you have
Congrats.
2 minutes and 45 seconds left. I was running to get more alcohol.
You're
Sorry.
okay. I have another fun game where I need you to close your eyes. It's a little bit different. So I need you to close your eyes. It's going to be different. I am going to go the jurors just based on the way that I see them on the screen because it's easier not to forget anyone. Okay. So what I need you to do is I'm going to say the name of a juror and I want you to raise your hand if you think you played a better game than them. So not necessarily that you think you could beat them in the end, but an aspect of your game is better than their game. Starting first on my screen is Stevie. So you're raising your hand if you think you did better. Okay, me. Okay, Sam. Okay, CJ. Okay, Brian. Okay, Nick. Okay, Josh. Okay, Derek. Okay, Kelly. Okay. This one only applies to Jester. Raise your hand if you think you played better than Stoner. Okay, and Stoner, raise your hand if you think you played better than Jester. All right, if I missed anybody on jury, call my ass out now. Okay, you're good. You can open your eyes, everybody's good. That was much more interesting than I thought it was going to be. My final question, just because I think it's fun, obviously, Brian kind of brought it up as you were talking. Stoner, I want you to guess one trigger word that's causing things. So just what's something that you think that we're going to guess, you're going to talk about.
Oh, is this for the drinking game?
Yes.
Oh God! Every time Stoner mentions that he's been to 15 tribal councils.
Okay. Jester, I would like you to do the same. Just something that you think about you would be in the drinking game.
I don't know. Which is, I always said that, which is. No, it didn't work.
Okay. That's all I've got. Best of luck to the both of you. I think you both answered my questions very, very well. You should be proud of yourselves and how you're presenting yourselves because I personally feel that you're pitching your games very well, both of you. So congrats again and good luck.
Thank you, Kennedy.
Fun fact, Kennedy
you,
had
Kennedy.
8 seconds to spare. So you didn't even use your full 10 minutes, Kennedy.
If somebody wants my 8 seconds, you can have them.
The eye roll I just did. Okay, we are going to swiftly move on and we are going to go to our sassy little flight attendant, Stevie. Stevie, you have 10 minutes or up to 10 minutes. You don't have to use all of the 10 minutes as Kennedy decided to, but you are allowed to if you want. Begin.
All right. Hey, guys. I'm very happy to see 2 OG Medeas at the final tribal council. I think it's safe to say OG Tapaza certainly dropped the ball somewhere on the line before tonight. But villain of the season, I want to hear the most villainous thing both of you did in this game. I want to start with Jester.
The villainous thing that I did in this game, I think when I'm trying to... Did I do villain in this game? Oh my gosh. I don't know. Maybe when I'm trying to plant seeds when taking Derek out to the final 6 or 5. I think that's pretty much my it because I've been trying to plant seeds to Brian, Stoner, and Kelly. Hey, Derek is gonna win this game, and if you guys don't take that out, we're losing this game at the most. But I'm not sure if I did most of playing villainous because of how I am, how I'm protected it, how I protect my allies in the game.
Yeah, that's fine. You might have done something like villainous, you know.
Yeah, so I not much, but maybe more of a hero thing. I'm not. Yes.
Okay, I like that. Stoner.
So I actually did a few dirty things. So I tried to blame a lot of stuff on other people. A big example was the very first tribal, Stevie. I voted for you because I wanted you to go crazy, and it didn't really work. But to what I thought it would work. But I voted you, and I blamed it on. I think I blamed it on Seb and Ali.
At the first tribal, you voted for me at the
very first. Yeah, that was me.
Rotten shit.
Another example was the tribal where Jackson went home. So Kendall never leaked the OG Secret Services. That was me. I told Kendall, I said, look, Kendall, there's a whole other alliance without you. We're all voting you out at the merge. You got to flip. If you don't flip, they don't got your back at the merge. And she's like, is that true? I'm like, yeah, it's true. And then then basically my logic was this. The only people that are gonna know that is me and CJ. Because guess what? I'm voting out Kendall next round anyways. So me and CJ vote out Jackson, vote out Kendall, and me and CJ are like, look, we gotta tell them that Kendall and that Jackson leaked it, and that's why Jackson went home. Because I can't take the fall for that. You know, they're not gonna trust me. They gotta think that
you told me that Jackson leaked that information. So that's
go. Yeah, so that was the biggest thing, honestly, was I was trying to blame that on Jackson. I was trying to blame on Jackson leaking it because I didn't want to take the fall, but I had to leak it to get Kendall to flip. Otherwise, we're going to rocks, and I'm not. And I was going to draw a rock at Final 14, but I didn't want to draw a rock at Final 14, so I had to throw our alliance into the bus. And I knew it wasn't going to hurt me too bad, just because there was going to be no one there to dispute the story. It's just me and CJ. And I think just little things like that, you know, was throwing people under the bus to cover my ass for things that I did was probably the most villainous things I did.
All right, I like that answer too. I do kind of want to circle back to something Josh was mentioning earlier. And during our time on Ponderosa, Josh really got to tell people about his experience with Jester. And it was very vague. I didn't really get too many details on it, but I don't think it's really fair to not let Jester respond to that. So I would like to give the rest of my time to Jester to kind of comment on that, if that's okay.
Yes, I've been thinking that since the start of the game, not gonna lie. I'll start the merge, not the merge. Oh, see, I rabble my words now. I started the FTC. Yes. I mean, if I did something offensive or if I make you uncomfortable in any certain type of point, I apologize because of how things yes, I am a flirty. I have this flirtatious personality, and that just kind of lead me to it at some point. But I did not intend to make anything to make you not comfortable or like not talk to me at all. And yes, I am apologize from everything I did to you, and there's nothing wrong or there's nothing just I can say more to it because you have that experience and it happens to you. And I hope in the next move day forward you don't get that experience from anywhere at some point, and I hope you have the rest of your life make it so enjoyable and have peace. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, thank you, Jester. I yield my time to the chair.
Thank you, Stevie.
Thank you, Steve.
So next up, we are going to have our final jury member, our Latin queen, my personal favorite, Kelly. Kelly, you have up to 10 minutes. Go for it.
Hello. Well, again, congrats for making it to the final two. I don't have like much to say because the questions that I had, like you have already answered it. But I did wanted to say that Stoner, like he says he lied a lot. I don't think he ever lied to me. Every conversation that we had, like he did tell lies, but I think he did it knowing that I wasn't buying them. And I did the same. Like I told him stuff that I knew he wasn't buying. So we're just talking, we weren't just throwing lies knowing that none of us were buying it. So I don't take that as a lie. Gesture said that I was giving him information and I had little to none information most of the time because I was never active on chat. So all the information that I had was coming from Gesture or from Sam, and that's how I was working like my game, you know. He did say some names to vote for, but I don't remember he pushed for Kennedy that bad. Just throwing that out there. I acknowledge that I didn't want to vote Kennedy out for one vote, when we were trying to split the votes, just because she told me in the previous one that she wasn't voting for me. I didn't believe her. And then I was like, okay, I'm not going to vote for her. I just want Nick out because Nick was winning immunity. Then Stoner, going back to Stoner. I think it was really unnecessary for you to use the fake idol that you knew it was fake, because I didn't know it was fake until last night when we had like the round table. And I think that was the first lie you told me, not in all the game. And I felt like a fool. So yeah, and I did have a question for you. Like, were you surprised that you received votes at Final Five?
It was a mix, honestly. As Jester touched up on earlier, I really did want me, Sam, Brian, Jester Final Four. And looking back, that was probably like that would have been my stupidest move of the game. And I'm very glad that I didn't do that, because I would look like an idiot, with Sam and Brian voting me out. I expected to get votes near the end of Tribal Council, but honestly, I was very shocked. If you saw my face, I was blindsided.
Yeah.
I really thought that they were voting for you. I thought there might be a possibility, but honestly, wicked low possibility. I really had no clue that Sam and Brian were voting me. So mad props to them, because that was the second big time in the game that I was majorly blindsided. And I'll be honest with you, Kelly, when I saw the first two votes, I thought I'm toast. I was like, there's no way Kelly's saving me. I'm out. And I thought I was going home. I seen two votes Stoner. I'm like, oh my God, this is it. It's over. And you surprised me. But I did not expect to get votes. Brian and Sam, they did really good, because I thought that you were getting the other two votes. So yeah, I did not expect to get votes.
I just asked just because if that was acting, just like the acting you did with the fake idol, like you can get far in the acting career. And Jester, I've been with him like since the tribe swap. Like he reached out to me, and his social game with me was flawless, because I never doubt him, like ever. Like Sam was really good to me, but there was this time that I had doubts. I don't think that was like Jester putting seeds in my head. I think it was more like Derek put those seeds. Like Sam was turning on me, not Jester. That's how I see it. That's my perspective. And that's all I have to say. If you want to use whatever time I have left to say something, either Jester or Stoner, you can use it.
No? Good. Okay. Thank you, Kelly. Right. Next up, we have got CJ. Okay, CJ, so you have 10 minutes. Go ahead.
All right. Congrats, you guys. I love you guys both. I want to talk to Stoner first. Oh man, miss the hell out of you, dude, bro, straight up. First, I have several questions for you. The first thing being, first off, I want to apologize for about an idol there. First question I use.
CJ, you are lagging a lot, just saying.
Brought up at the jury roundtable last night was that were you legitimate about your final two with me, or did you just latch on to me to be able to further your game? Is question number one, and question number two, what was your regret?
All right, CJ, you were 1,000% were my final two. When we merged, my final five was me, you, Sam, Derek, Brian, and Josh. That was kind of my ideal final five at that time. Josh quickly became a target, and then I wanted Jester to be in that group with us. But you were 1,000% my final two. From the swap, we kicked ass, honestly. And I guess I'm not a math wizard, Megan. From the swap, we kicked ass together, and you took a major risk trusting me. And I think that honestly set us up to be really good friends. Tom Brady's Ravens is like one of my favorite chats. You know, I had a lot of good chats. You know, Beyblades, Birth Control and Bongs, the Cutthroat Swingers. But Tom Brady's Ravens, that was such a good chat, honestly. And I'm very glad I met you. I cried when you went home. I cried over a middle-aged redneck. I don't cry over men, dude. Like, and I cried over your ass when you went home. And honestly, you were my final two, no matter what. As far as my regret, I touched up on this a little bit. My biggest regret, honestly, was bullshitting Brian. I wish I never made that deal with Brian. And yeah, that's my biggest regret, was making that deal with Brian. I think if I did not make that deal with Brian, things would have been a lot smoother that night.
He froze.
I hope you heard that, CJ. If not, it's
What
okay.
about your
CJ.
move?
Oh, there we go.
I'm sorry,
What?
CJ.
The other question that you didn't answer, like, what
Oh, I
would
thought-
be the biggest move that you claim
Oh,
for yourself that you made in the game?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you asked what was my biggest regret. The biggest move I made for myself was definitely taking Derek out. I think Derek was set up nicely, and if I didn't push that during tribal, I would have been in a pretty big predicament, honestly. I think voting out Jackson too was a big move. I don't think it was as big because it was pre-merge, but I do think it set myself up for the merge, where people were looking at me as someone they could work with. Hey, Chris is open to working with us. Because then I merged with Tapiza wanting to work with me, and Old Medea wanting to link back up with me. So I think those two votes are probably my biggest moves that I did for myself, was taking out Jackson and taking out Derek.
Okay, thanks, Stoner. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, thank you, CJ.
Good luck, bud.
Thank you.
Jester? You're welcome.
CJ, you are extremely laggy right now.
Jester, so, I was talking about that game, and let's see what it is. Okay. Is it still lagging?
It's better.
You're still lagging.
Okay, am I lagging now?
Nope, you're good.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. My Wi-Fi's just raining in here, so it's messed up. Jester, a couple questions. Congrats, man, on making it to final two. You were also one of the other people that did not cast a vote against me when I was blindsided. The only concerns I have with you is I really didn't get a touch base with you. We had only one-on-one call the entire game. So I didn't really feel like we had a really huge connection that I had with Stoner. So can you give me some insight on that? Was I like at the bottom of your list? And what was your biggest move and biggest regret of the game?
Okay, so I did not have much one-on-one talk to you because of the times that we work too much. You work in the days and I work in the nights. And then once you work in the days, I'm sleeping through it, and like there's just not much time that we can have if we wanted to. And I've been trying to call with everyone, even with Kennedy, even with Nick, even with you. But it just there's not much time because based on the times that we have. I wish we had more talk because I know you were fully loyal to Stoner, and I want that to have that with you and work with you. Yes, I did not vote for you, but I do know that you're the ones going home that night because I did plan that with Sam. If Sam was, hey, CJ has mine another, we can plan this, vote CJ out. But in terms of me, because I'm protecting my allies, if you use that if you use that idol, CJ, if we have an idol, Kelly is going home that night, and I don't want that to happen. So I did tie the vote with Kennedy. So if there's an idol, you might have to play. Kelly and Kennedy would go to a tie and would go to the reboot, and I'm just gonna keep Kelly as much as we can to move forward in the game. And I did my biggest regret. My biggest regret in the game was like this: talking to people more, talking to like Kennedy, talking to Nick, and got them to know really bonded in the game, because you guys have all bonded and I did not have much that bond that we had that you guys have. And I really want just to get to know them more, because I know they're a lovely person and I would love to definitely hang out with them as much I would want to, and talk to them more in the game time or more in personal life. Pretty much it. That's pretty much my biggest regret. And I hope you heard that,
Okay.
CJ.
All right. Thanks, guys. And congrats again, and good luck.
Thank you, CJ.
Okay, thank you, CJ. Right, moving on, we have got Nick next. Nick, you have 10 minutes or up to 10 minutes. Take it away.
I'll be trying to use all 10 of these minutes. First and foremost, congratulations, both of you too. I'm super proud of both of you. Now that I've done congratulated, I do owe a slight apology to one of you, because I was really, really nasty to one of you in the round table, due to me not really knowing your game and not understanding it. I feel like you both are doing a really good job of describing your games tonight. And I do have some liquid courage because Stoner keeps fucking saying my name. With that being said, first off, I want to say to Stoner, coming into this merge, I had, and up into probably the live night, I had absolutely no idea of any social dynamic within this game. And I think that on the flip side, you knew every social dynamic in this game, along with you, Jester, as well, which is something that I give props to both of you for. Secondly, I have just came up with this, or with a statement. A big part of the jury roundtable discussion was talking about claiming moves for yourself, and whether you should claim moves for yourself or not. A lot of people on the jury claimed a lot of moves that you are claiming here tonight. I just want to give you guys that heads up. It could rub some people the wrong way, claiming a move solely yourself when other people were involved. Now on to questions. I'm going to go Jester first and then Stoner. So Jester, if you could describe your game to me in 3 words, what would they be?
Social, honest, loyal.
Okay. And what was your biggest regret in this game?
I did say that the talk that I cannot have that much talk with you guys, because I didn't have to meet you in the pre-merge trap, and we don't have that much time because of the certainties of you guys. Of course, you guys working in the mornings, I'm sleeping in the days, I work at nights, and you guys cannot talk to me at night. So that's just pretty much it.
Okay. So I want to talk about when Kennedy and I both left. We both left you pretty much the same message, which was to separate your games from people. And from our perspective, it didn't seem like you did. You talked a little bit about how, in terms of the late game you did, do you think that you might have waited a little too late to separate your games from people, especially if it took 2 jurors telling you to separate your games? Or do you think that you did everything at the first possible moment you personally on a game level could?
I think I did the best thing I could do to differentiate my game, because the moment you said, don't be a puppet, that kind to me, okay, does jury respect my game? Does jury respect my gameplay? And I'm like wondering about it. Should I just go with the easy route or the harder route? And I found myself doing the harder route, the best thing I could do in order to stay in the game. Of course, I have to work with the big personalities and I go behind them, because if I do be like the big boss in the whole merge, I'm not gonna get here in my final seat. And that just determine how I can be aggressive in a way, but under the radar in a game that people would not just realize, oh, I'm playing the game and I'm what's playing the game the entire time.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna move on to Stoner. Stoner, you answered my first two questions because people stole them from me because I never told anybody what my questions were. So I'm gonna go to my final question for you. In the jury roundtable, we talked a lot about how the jurors viewed both of your games, or at least the jurors that were there viewed both of your games. Some of the jurors thought you were a follower, while others thought you were more of a free agent. Explain and tell us why some of us are right and some of us are wrong.
I think those are both very good, but very good descriptions, honestly. I was a follower at times. I knew I couldn't come to this game gun blazing. The Josh vote, the Stevie vote, that wasn't my plan. You know, I think I messed up voting Stevie out, to be honest with you. And I expressed that to several people. Like, fuck, now there's only 3 Medea. Come on, guys. And like that, those weren't my moves. I'm not gonna sit here and say they were. And I was a follower at those tribal councils. The thing was, if you know, look at who wasn't a follower. Josh wasn't a follower. Stevie wasn't a follower. They're out first. You gotta follow. You gotta know when to follow and when to lead. And I think I had a pretty good grasp of when to follow and when to lead. And even after I would lead, I would take a step back after the Derek vote. And I don't know if maybe that's the new people are thinking that I'm claiming. And if that is, like, I apologize. I do believe that Jester, Derek, and you weren't voting for Derek until I pushed it mid-tribal. And if people were thinking that, then that's my like ignorance. I didn't know that. But after the Derek vote, I was able to sit back and go back into follow mode if I needed to, and I could pick it up and go back into lead mode when I needed to. And I think honestly, I was a good mix of both, and I think both those descriptions are accurate. I don't think you can be a leader 39 days. If you are, you're joining the jury, or worse, pre-jury. And I think I just knew when to follow and when to lead.
Pretty fair. Okay, now I just have 2 questions for both of you. During Kennedy's questioning, some of you raised your hand, some of you kept your hands lowered for who you think you played a better game than. In terms of just gameplay alone, the person, not how far they got, gameplay alone, who do you think, if you two weren't sitting there, deserves to be in the final 2?
Jester, you want to go first for me?
You go.
Derek and Sam, hands down. I don't think it's a question that those two played one of the best games this season. They were a power duo. They ran the majority of this game together. And I think if Derek didn't go home that night, then they would have continued to run this game until they eventually turned on each other at final 5, which is far too late to let Sam and Derek mate. I just said Sarek because that's like their little couple name. You know, you can't let Sarek get that far. And I think Derek and Sam deserve to be here more than anybody.
I would actually do the same thing, Derek and Sam, but I would add you, Nick. It's not like kissing your ass or something like that, but you scared me. You scared the heck out of me. Like, girl, you doesn't stop. Like this Nick doesn't stop to play this game, and I'm like, I see it all. Oh my God, that you potentially could win every order that you may want to, and you would always kill it no matter what. So that's pretty much it. I'm so scared at you.
Right, now I'm going to do something that Sam did with you guys earlier, but now that you've talked to every single juror besides Derek, sorry, Derek, because I'm second to last, I want to see if any of your guys' opinions have changed. So close your eyes, and you are going to raise your hand if you think you have this juror's vote. Unlike Sam, I do remember the boot order, and I will be going in that order. So raise your hand if you think you have Josh's vote. Raise your hand if you think you have Stevie's vote. Raise your hand if you think you have CJ's vote. Raise your hand if you think you have Derek's vote. Raise your hand if you think you have Kennedy's vote. Raise your hand if you think you have my vote. Raise your hand if you think you have Sam's vote. Raise your hand if you think you have Brian's vote. And last but not least, raise your hand if you think you have Queen Kelly's vote. All right, thank you guys. How much time do I have left?
You have a minute and a half.
Okay, perfect. A minute and a half to talk. No, I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, Jester, any conversation that we had in this game, I meant it. I think you were an amazing person. Stoner, you know, like I've had the best conversations with you. You are somebody that I will love and appreciate in and out of this game, both of you. I had something in my head I want to say, now I can't remember. You were my tribal buddy. Anytime I needed somebody to yell at during tribal when I was a little bit too anxious, you were the person that I'd scream it at. But I just wanted to congratulate you two for both getting this far. As somebody who has gotten this far in these types of games, I know how hard it is, and I know how terrifying it is to sit in front of a jury and try to plead your case to win. So I just wanted to say best of luck to you both, and may the best person win.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick. Right, we have come to our final jury member. Derek, the floor is yours. End off this jury question.
Hello. I just want to start off by asking, did we save the best for last, or is it just me? I'm just kidding. I want to really start off by congratulating both of you. You guys both did an amazing job. You are where I would love to be right now. I'm like so nervous, and it's your guys' time. I don't know why. But I'm just gonna kind of dive straight into it. I'm gonna start with Jester. I have my notes over here. Since I am kind of going last in this lineup, you've both kind of heard a little bit from the jury, kind of, you know, you can kind of gauge your own reactions, if you will. I want to ask you specifically how you had agency in your game over Stoner. What did you do that ultimately he did not to get you to where you are now?
That's why I'm here is because of my social prowess and how I present myself to everyone. I present myself, hey, I can be a loyal. I can work with you. I make sure that I listen and observe whatever you want to try to pitch me in. Even though I'm trying to throw someone's names out there, you guys are listening and we're both discussing and the options that we have in this game. That's why I am here in the final two, because of the options, and I make it more openly to like, hey, you can work with me, you can talk to me, you can do talk game for me 24/7 at all you want. I'm gonna be open with you, and that's, I think people kind of get to it. Oh, Jester is open, Jester is willing to talk to me, Jester is willing to work with me, because I do present that to everyone that, hey, I'm here, I'm ready to listen to you all, and I'm here to make things kind of gonna work with us and go with the end if there's a possibility we can go to the end.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you. So moving on to Stoner, I apologize. I only have one question for both of you. I got off work at 8. I'm scatterbrained, but yes, Stoner. I don't really have much of a question actually, but I feel somewhat conflicted with how I was voted out. I feel like from my standpoint, and I don't want to be a hypocritical bitch, so I want to hear you out. I felt like I literally flipped that day to try to save my own ass, if you will, to try to position myself better, to make myself more of a shield for other people. And you literally flipped the other way, to the opposite side of where I was trying to go. And for me, that's just very frustrating, because obviously I know you've talked about it. We all know the writing was on the wall that I was a big threat. I didn't know I was as big of a threat as everybody else thought I was. But tell me your mindset with the live night. Tell me what was going through your mind. What were your strategies? What did you want? What was your ultimate outcome with the live night going into it?
So going to the live night, honestly, my biggest thing was to survive. My last 3 games, I went out live night. And I was definitely scared of live night. I did not want to go home live night. And then it became, I need to protect my game for the future. When I find out Jester's a target and Nick's a target, I can't let either of them go home because they both trust me. Jester, I don't think was ever going to write my name down until final 3. Nick, I think Nick probably would have worked with me too long term. And I could not have that happen. So going to live night, I wanted you out, Derek. And I know it's shitty because we had a really good call. I think I cried you that night. We had a really 2-hour call that night. about the personal calls. And honestly, what made me what made me really just go with it was 2 nights prior. We had a 2-hour call, and you guys took out CJ, and I felt like an idiot, and that lit a fire into my ass. That vote made me realize I am not in this great position I think I am. I'm not. I'm in the worst position in the game right now. And I got to start playing this game for myself, where I'm not worried about the cutthroat boys. I'm not worried about anyone else making it to the end but myself. And going to live night, it was simply I had to keep myself safe, and I had to keep the people that I knew are going to have my back in the next round. And that was Jester, and that was Nick. And ultimately, I've said it all night. I think you were the biggest threat in the game. The thing with Sam's a major threat, but Sam's an obvious threat. Everyone's breathing down Sam's neck. We got to get you out. You were so good with your words. You were the biggest threat, but no one wanted to take your ass out. So I knew that was it. Derek's got to go. And the thing is, I only had 4 votes against you. 4 people. Me, Nick, Brian, and Jester. That's less than the majority of the tribe. The only reason you went home is because of the extra vote. That's how good you were. Is I couldn't even get 5 people to write your name down, and that's why you went home, Derek. That's what happened live night. As for the Kennedy vote, I didn't trust Kennedy. Nick was the person I trusted in that dynamic, and Kennedy just didn't give me the reassurance that I needed from Kennedy to move forward with her. And for me, the next round was pretty simple as well. Kennedy had to go if I wanted to fix everything. Because the thing is, I didn't want Sam to feel at the bottom. I didn't want Sam and Callie to feel like, oh God, we're screwed. I needed them to know, look, that wasn't a vote against you guys. I just needed Derek's ass out. I'm still down to work with you guys. So let me prove it right here. Let me vote Kennedy, and we'll go from there. And that was my live night mindset.
Absolutely. Thank you. That is basically what I have for both of you. I, again, want to congratulate both of you. I really wish that I was there. I love these games. I will do everything that I can in these games. And so it is very humbling to be taken out, to be blindsided, for Nick to fucking get the fuck in my head, and Stoner to really take advantage of the situation. But at the same time, it still stings. It's still frustrating. And so I definitely want to, I only have a couple minutes now, but weigh my options and what I think is the best decision. But you're both amazing. Hands down to you. My hat's off. Good luck.
Thank you, Derek.
Thank you, Derek. Right. The jury have questioned, and the jury have not spoken just yet. Before they do, each of you have a closing statement. You guys will have 5 minutes each to make your closing statement to the jury as to why they should vote for you. And Jester, you're up first.
I think of all the questions, I think we said it all, our games and our mindset going to this for tribal council. I just want to make sure that I make, again, the social prowess in order to stay in this game. I make everyone that believe in me working with me as much as I can. I don't have any advantage that I have in this game, and that just sends to my gameplay. Oh, my only advantage that I have is should be the strategic and the social prowess that I am always have then, and I will always be. I'm not gonna make it too long because we have been said it all. It's all been done. Stoner, good luck to you, and may the best one win. But I'm really happy for the production, for the cast, of how great these people could be, because this is an amazing cast, and I would love every single of it. I've definitely talked to after this game. So yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Jester. Right, Stoner, finish us off.
All right, you guys been hearing us talk for an hour and a half, so I'm gonna try to keep this, under 30 seconds. I think I played a strong game. I think I played an adaptable game, and I think I played a risky game. There was not a round this game where I wasn't willing to take a big risk if I needed to. Going to every single tribal council, I knew I had to play hard, and I had to bust my ass to get here. And if you guys can't forgive the game, if you guys can't understand where I'm coming from, I just hope you guys can appreciate it, and after the game we can talk and hash it all out. But I think it's clear tonight. I think who played the best game out of Jester and myself. I think I had the hardest journey here. I think I played the best game out of the options tonight, and I hope I've done enough to earn your votes tonight. And that's all I got.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Also, right, Jester and Stoner, you guys have said all you can. You have preached, you have fought, you have discussed. And now it is up to Josh, Stevie, CJ, Derek, Kennedy, Nick, Sam, Brian, and Kelly. They will now all vote for a winner. What will happen now is myself and Marcelo will go into the breakout room. One by one, you guys will come meet us and you will vote for your winner. So just to confirm again, you are voting for who you want to be the sole survivor. Once the votes have been cast, we will read them. So if Meg would like to send me and Marcelo to the breakout room, and we will get started.
Ali, I am going to run to the restroom, but I'm still here.
I'll send you guys one at a time to the breakout room to cast your vote. I'll send in the order of juror. So once Marcelo heads over there, we'll get started. You guys can give any shout outs, last shout outs you want during this time period, but just remember that if you do speak at all, it is not about the game. It is not about who you're voting for. It is no longer any more discussion or questions to the final two. You know the deal, but feel free to give shout outs to the viewers. And I will start by sending Josh over to vote. Who's drunk? That's the question I have. Who's drunk? Okay, so it's not just me. Good.
Me after drinking one Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Yes, there.
Me, trigger word was said tonight.
I was gonna
Jesus.
say, are we gonna tell them afterwards what the
Yes. It was the speeches. Speeches, I was like drinking non-stop.
I feel like they knew. Like they saw us all drink at the same time and they were like, oh.
So Nick, and then Nick again, and then Nick once more, and then Nick 5 times, and then
CJ.
Could we get some clarity on something? Now that he's not here, did Josh actually have 3 idols? Are we allowed to know that yet?
Oh wait.
He did, right?
Oh wait, I guess yeah, we're I don't know. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about the game, but I'll just DM you. Maybe he didn't. I'll DM you.
Who knows?
I'm sure we're also gonna go have a reunion call after this, and I'm sure that production will probably go in detail.
In half an hour.
Heard.
Yeah.
Okay, Josh is back. I'm sending Stevie over. Oh,
Yeah,
No,
I'm
no,
sure
no,
we'll
no,
have
no.
a chance
Who's
to ask
Josh? Who's Josh? I
any
only know
questions.
Joshy 3 idols.
No, stop. Meeting.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, she just won her mini last night.
No, it's not.
I saw she did amazing.
Thank you. He's trying to hype me up. The mini lasted 8 hours, and I'm sorry, Sean.
I can imagine.
Sorry.
Yes, I watched Kennedy last night. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
I slept through it.
We had date night, and I only thought the mini was going to be 3 hours. It ended up being 8. Thank you, Sean.
So how long it lasts? Like,
Yeah,
when did it start?
It started immediately after the jury roundtable.
What time did that end?
You had 2 minutes between.
Yep.
It was crazy.
It was like
8,
It's
9.
58.
I was like
Started
8. I think
o'clock.
it was 8 Eastern. Or no, it was 9 Eastern, and it ended at 5 a.m. Eastern.
Oh my gosh.
And jury roundtable finished.
That's a fucking work shift.
I'm now sending CJ over to vote.
And the only reason why I won is because so I participated in 10 competitions, I think, 10 or 11. And I won 7 of them. And it was a Big Brother format. So I like won out like final 7 till the end. I was safe. So
1984 has come back.
Not the 1984. Michael Snapchatted me and was like, look at you, Compy's queen. And I was like, oh my God. When Cody said I was messy. Oh, okay, but at that point in the game, everybody thought I was still innocent and like naive, and I had to kind of play off of it. Otherwise, they were gonna target me. Yeah, that was really funny. I tried my best. I was so pissed when they were like, we're gonna put Sean up early, and I was like, ugh. Sean and Dylan, who were people that I've like interacted with before.
That was disgusting.
It was terrible. And it killed me because people were like, Sean's going, there's nothing you can do. And I was like, okay, at this point, I just need you to know how much I love and respect you.
Derek, you are up.
The gaslighting from a certain person, they got their words this morning.
Was too much. I'm next. Thank you for telling me. My phone battery dies really fast. I don't know if I need to like get a new phone battery and if like the battery health.
Get a new phone, Kennedy.
I just got a new phone. The battery health is at 93%. So it shouldn't be that bad, but I like just got a new phone.
I feel you. I feel you. Even though I don't use it, the battery won't.
It just dies so quick. No, I have an iPhone.
I have an iPhone either.
It's so bad. Oh, not your little peace sign. Ben's vibing for a little bit longer. He's leaving after Christmas, so I only got a little bit left with him, but we're making the most of it.
Wonder who Ben's voting for tonight.
Don't.
I can't say.
Okay,
Sorry.
I was like, don't.
Hi.
Realistically, I don't think Ben knows where I'm voting. Don't say anything.
That's not true. I know who you're voting for. You're voting for Megan.
Yes, I'm voting for
period.
Megan.
I genuinely thought you were going to fill it then. I thought, goodness me.
No, you do not have to worry. I've played an org before. I know not to
Yeah,
say
we
shit.
met in an org. He knows better.
My favorite part of the season was getting to meet Ben in person.
That's true.
Isn't he much cuter in person?
He's so
Okay, Kennedy, it's your turn.
Oh, thank you.
We'll get 45 seconds of silence. Thank God. Kennedy did use most of the jurors' time out of all the jurors.
Well, is that surprising?
No.
Of course, that drinking game was so much fun.
No, it wasn't. For you, maybe.
It really wasn't.
It was fun
Every
for
time I heard
me when
Nick's
I
name-
came in halfway thugh.
The way I was drunk within
One
3
bottle of
minutes of the first opening speech.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I got sloshed off Gatorade.
Like, I need to puke. Like, I'm gonna vomit.
Yeah.
I just
Listen,
need to pee.
Half a litre of gin's gone now.
You got to send that as what kind of drinking game?
Oh, we'll send you the link afterwards, of course.
No, I think we should make them guess.
And
for
you can
more
join
things
us for the
afterward.
reunion, Jester and Stoner. You can join us for the reunion. I love that Stoner.
Nick.
Oh, I'm done. I'm done drinking. My tummy hurts. I'm over it.
I love that Stoner cottoned on halfway through, and he was like, "Okay, I'll drink now. I think this is when I need to drink."
Well, my favorite part was halfway through, he stopped saying my name, but started saying CJ's name, so we still had to drink.
I love the eye hole in your drink, Jester.
See, I think what was funnier though, Nick, was when each juror would go up and they'd like see how many times they could make us drink, knowing what our list was.
I just flat out was like, try to do it.
Like, I think Stevie was the worst about it.
Oh,
yeah, what the
He
hell,
was so
Stevie?
blatant too. Stevie was so fucking blatant with it.
Okay, but it would have been so much worse if Stevie would have been like, I was the villain of the season. Maybe it was Nick. Derek played a really good game, but I think it was me. Like, That right there is like back to back. And also, I hope that you two know, like, the drinking game is nothing bad about you guys. It's literally just a fun, like, we had things for both of you. I assure you, it's not making fun of your game. It's not anything.
No, it was every time anyone in the final two looks like a big dum dum.
Yes,
That was
that's
the
what
whole
it was.
list.
Anytime you
This
said
is why-
something,
this is why we're
agree with,
drunk.
take a drink.
But you look at the edit history on that document as well when you get a chance.
Oh my god.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, no, I had homework I was supposed to be doing during this, but I was too busy drinking my, very alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, we voted you out, Derek.
Do I have 5 minutes to smoke?
If you do
You
it on
might-
camera, we have to take a drink. Or you're not stoner. I guess
Girl,
I think
you better run. You better run.
Okay, I'll wait. I can't rush a smoke.
I was really surprised Stoner didn't smoke. I was waiting for it.
Sam, you're up next. Yeah, I was also waiting for Stoner's bong hit.
Also number 5, if we can look
Why
at number
can't- oh.
5, who made number 5? Because I personally want to punch you in the face.
Oh my god, wait, now I have to go look at number 5. Nobody say what it is.
Hey, that was me. That was me.
Damn, you're rotted. Of course they're gonna mention the tribe name.
I know.
Sam, you're up.
Arby?
But no one mentioned 9 though.
Oh
That
fuck!
was sad.
Sorry.
The only person who brought up 10 was the person themselves, so that I'm grateful for.
The one rule that involved me was me. But I also figured it would come up, so.
Yeah, no,
I
I think the
I
most
don't think I was in any of the rules, and honestly,
So for number 12, I was like, okay, Stoner's definitely gonna say CJ Moore. And then the whole opening statement, you said my name a total of 7 times. And so I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, why did I add my name to this?
can we all just give a genuine round of applause for number 8? Because that, like, realistically, not even talking shit, like, time zone wise, thank you.
Iconic. Surpassing all expectations. Queen shit.
It's almost 4 a.m. here, and I have to wake up at.
Yep, that is exactly.
Also, I want to clap to the fact that Stoner didn't mention that he went to every single tribal until asked what he thought we were drinking to.
No, he did it one time before.
Oh, he did it one time before.
Or
okay.
twice. In his opening statement, and then one time in a question.
I know,
And then
Kennedy has it written down. She took a tally.
Yes, Ben had to
No,
remind me to
I
drink.
was the tally.
There was one point
She said
where
rule number 7, 1.
Okay, we got Brian's vote.
I can't remember
for work. So last up is Kelly.
I can't remember which question Stoner was answering, but there was a point where he switched back from CJ to Nick to CJ to Nick to CJ to Nick. And I was watching Sam and we were just
It was literally like
I have a.
I
like,
almost muted and told Stoner to shut the or unmuted and told Stoner to shut the fuck up at that point because I was like, I'm going to vomit. Like I'm genuinely going to puke this alcohol back up.
one thing I'm hurt about. Sorry, Kenny, you go first.
Oh, you're good. Am I allowed to, like, I know we're not supposed to talk game, but am I allowed to do like a close your eyes, raise your hand thing right now, or should I wait till after? Somebody remind me if I have to do after.
Wait.
I'll remind you.
Well, what's the
Everyone on the
question?
call.
If it has to do with game, I'd say probably after.
Okay, I'll wait. I'll wait.
I'll remind you.
Somebody remind me though, because I gotta know. Okay.
Kenny, they're drunk.
I
One thing I'm shocked about is Arby's wasn't mentioned once. I was hurt and surprised. and
I'm
sad.
glad. I'm glad.
And nobody mentioned OG Medea making final 2, which was
yeah.
a chug you drink.
Well, I
Don't
think
did bring up.
I mentioned it.
I
Yes,
think
I think
Steve
Steve- I
I was
remember
gonna say,
mentioned
that was one of the
something around
Stevie's
that.
like
Yeah.
blatant bombs. It was that and the to pause a blow in the 7-4, which I put that on there. I thought that was gonna be said more. Stevie, the most blatant. Yeah, Tapasa fucking sucked.
Yeah, Tapasa really messed that up. And then, like, you can rewatch the footage. I'm pretty sure I glare into the camera as I'm drinking.
I'm so excited to watch this back.
It's only fair that Stevie and I have one more little dig.
I also thought the phrase "I was on the bottom" was going to be mentioned more. than it was. Very happy it wasn't because my stomach now hurts.
Stoner's just bottom. That's it.
I'm not going to mention it because it alludes to game stuff, but number 11, I don't think was ever mentioned, which I'm happy about.
Oh my god.
Oh
Squid.
no, it's just every other one was.
Oh, don't.
Yeah, every other
that,
one.
That is what my close your eyes and raise your hand is going to be. And everyone but me is going to close their eyes, and maybe Nick if they don't want to participate, but everyone else but me and Nick.
I'm sure it'll become clear at the reunion. It'll become clear at the reunion about that.
Well, hold on, Kennedy. What am I going to answer if you ask that?
That's true. You can watch too.
Thank you for taking that ugly ass jersey off, Stoner. Thank you so
hold on.
much. It's disgusting. It needs to
Bro.
be burned.
Yeah. Agreed.
I'm so glad you took
We don't
that
like
jersey.
sports in this bitch.
This is the last challenge.
I mean, it's embarrassing
left.
at this point. They've lost 2 weeks in a row.
I mean, look,
So, have volleyball.
Chris, I was telling Nick about how the Browns went 0-16 a couple years ago, how they've been a poverty franchise for as long as I've been alive. Like,
now they're like,
as somebody from Cleveland, these are things I already know.
Nick said, "Been there, done that."
Like
But
you're
the
over
Ravens,
here acting like.
And even then, that's even worse because the Ravens lost to the Browns last week. So what does that make the Ravens?
You lost
Wait
to
a
our
second.
practice
I don't
squad.
think either of you guys can talk because I am a Vikings fan. Okay, and the Vikings.
You guys lost to the Lions.
Everyone.
You lost to the Lions, so you have
Dude,
no.
the Vikings
Cardinals got blown out by the
disappoint
Lions today.
Everyone. My
Dude, the
point
Cardinals
exactly.
getting blown out by the Lions was rough. Hey, you
The
know
Vikings
what, Kennedy?
are
You know
known
the
to
Vikings
lose
do
to
not
the
disappoint
worst teams
because
and
I had
beat
Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook on fantasy, and as long as Dalvin Cook is healthy, I am happy.
Then you're good.
I'm happy.
The Vikings
I
do
have-
like one good thing every couple years. Oh,
We have
maybe?
Chubb though. I mean, name a better player than Chubb. You can't.
Are you still talking about football players, Nick?
I am. I am. I think his name is.
Nick
I
just
can't
named
Is that who you're
Chubb.
talking? Yeah, you're talking about Nick Chubb.
Seriously, it's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pull a Derek. Hello, hello, hello.
Goodbye.
Shut up,
yeah.
shut up.
I'm so sorry to interrupt such a lovely, fun conversation about football, which I care about so much at this moment. But alas, I do have the votes. And if you guys are ready, we will get to the reading of the votes to find out who the winner is. First, before I read the votes, I just want to say, hold on, give me a second. Arby's, Medea, Tapaza, Sahida, OG Tapaza blew a 7-4 lead. OG Medea made final 2. Derek was the best player. Stoner and Jester both played amazing games. Take like 8 drinks, y'all.
I don't have any beers left.
Yes, I am sick and rotten. Just had to be funny before we get to it. But yes, like I said, I do have the votes and we do have a winner. Tonight, you do want to see your name written down as the jury members voted for the person they want to see win. Stoner, Jester, you guys have done all that you needed to do. You have made it as far as you can. And now we're going to find out who has won Triumph Season 2. Alrighty, let's get into it. The first vote is for Stoner. Second vote is for Stoner. That's 2 votes for Stoner. Next vote is for Jester. The fourth vote is for Jester. We are tied. That's 2 votes for Stoner, 2 votes for Jester. The next vote is for Stoner. That's 3 votes for Stoner. I've lost count of how many total I'm at, but the next vote is for Stoner. That's 4 votes for Stoner, 2 votes for Jester. The next vote and the winner of Triumph Sahara Scorched Land Season 2 is Stoner. The last 2 votes as well were also for Stoner, which means Stoner, congratulations. You have won by a vote of 7-2.
You put the heart.
I was just gonna say the clapping's so quiet because everyone's on mute. Yes.
Literally.
Oh my god! Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, you guys. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Congrats, bro.
Thank you, guys.
Congrats to
Jester,
both of you.
amazing game you played. Congratulations on second place, Jester. Stoner and Jester, we loved having both of you, and as well to the entire cast. We loved having you guys all this season. It was a super fun, super amazing season. And so now that we know the winner, we will get into our reunion. So
welcome to the runner-up club, Jester. We love having you. You and I are slaying it.
Thanks for the viewers. I'm going to stop the stream now because things are going to get annoying. So